sister. What are we making here?
I don't know, sister, but it appears that we've put a lot of ingredients in here we found at Costco.
Hey, sister, what are you putting in? Interesting.
You know we had to take from the special house.
What's that coming out?
What?
Oh. Is that a...
Was that hair?
Okay, is that a
Igor
pompadour?
put in gay porn! That's a Playgirl magazines.
Sister, unsummon that.
I can't unsummon it. It appears that it's here now.
Oh, God.
Igor has nice hair now!
Oh, God.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us again for this episode of the Free Rotation, where we're going to focus on haunted objects and witches. I mean, cursed. Okay, I'm cursed already.
Cursed objects?
Cursed objects.
Cursed.
You're fucking up,
Cursed.
Angie.
Cursed and spoopy objects.
Thank you. Yes.
Better?
Yes, like the haunted door.
I'm scared
What's
now.
that in the corner? I think we summoned something.
No, it's
It's
just
just-
blue. You're good.
Oh, it really is. She's like giving their leg out like, hey.
You want
They
some of this
can't see
pussy?
you, but
Aw.
and she's licking her toes and stuff like, you got a foot fetish? Look at
I
this
do.
kitty. You like these toes?
Ooh, I can fit this on my... I can fit my tongue
Okay,
Ooh, that
bestiality is illegal.
inappropriate.
Not,
Okay.
not in Alabama.
Yeah, it is.
Oh.
Oh, you make it work.
I'm gonna marry her, so... Okay, anyways.
I'm scared now.
The first thing I would like to talk about, have you guys heard of
No.
the cursed Elmo doll?
No,
I
actually.
feel like this is a no, I haven't. A, no, I haven't. B, I really feel bad for the kid that found out that was an Elmo doll.
Oh,
that
no,
was
he
cursed.
was a very young kid. He was 2, 3-ish. His name was James. And with these Elmo dolls, you would plug them into the computer and download stuff about your child. Name, general age, and Elmo would interact with your kid based on their age. This Elmo, after being plugged in and stuff, came out and he was like, kill James.
What?
Kill
Nice.
James. So the kids started actually repeating, kill James.
Oh my
So
God.
the
what a
mother...
stupid fucking kid.
and like the haunted Elmo doll, Fisher Price took it back because they wanted to study it and figure out what happened.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is this AI transitioning or something possessed the Elmo?
Is Robert the doll on this?
It is.
God bless it.
Well, okay, so Elmo basically became Tattletale.
Tattletale was a good guy in that.
Okay, yeah.
It was Mama.
Mama. But
Brush me!
Stop it!
I'm sure you didn't play it. She played it a couple days ago on stream.
I saw.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We were on there. But question, did they ever figure out what it was?
No, as far as I know, they never figured out what changed the setting to kill, or even how Elmo learned the word kill. It wasn't in Elmo's program to learn that word.
I solved the mystery. The dad was in some real depraved fucked shit.
Could be. Like the Lutz guy from
Yeah.
Amityville.
Mm-hmm.
That's so weird.
When was this? Like, what year was this? Like in the 90s?
Yeah, this was the early 2000s. Elmo.
Oh, gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, plugging it into a computer.
Those poor
So-
retail workers having to deal with that shit during Black Friday.
Oh, I just wonder, like, how many of them got out there that did that before they realized, like, hey.
He was the only one that they were contacted about, and they refunded her an Elmo and her money, and this Elmo, because the kid adored Elmo.
Yeah.
Elmo sheets, Elmo everything, took Elmo everywhere, and Elmo killed James.
Maybe you need to change him to a Big Bird fan.
Or Thomas the
Right.
Tank Engine,
No,
bro.
he. Anybody else hear that music?
Y'all have no idea, like, how much I love Thomas growing up. That was my shit.
Snuffleupagus
Mhm.
was the greatest.
Can you
No,
imagine-
that trunk was so phallic.
You're just an Oscar the Grouch.
Can you imagine though being
Yes.
a parent and like your child's favorite toy is telling you to kill the child?
Kill James, and then your kids start saying, "Kill James."
Yeah,
'Cause
kill
he's-
James!
He's very young, and if Elmo said it,
Yeah. it's gotta
Imagine
be-
your kid
it's gotta
going
be
to school
okay.
and being like, "Kill James, where'd you learn that from?" My house.
from
My-
Elmo.
Elmo.
That's all
Alright.
kinds of stuff.
Okay,
so
so-
we need to talk about this Elmo,
Elmo, that was some pretty scary shit.
right?
If I had, and I never would, but if I had an Elmo doll and he was like, "Kill Angie," punt.
out the door, just gone.
Boot that
On
Gone.
fire.
gasoline.
That's
chocolate
what I
match.
feel like that next step was the Furby. That would have been a Furby that did that next.
I'm sure there was.
Ugh, Furbies.
Furby's creepy as hell.
Those
So
things-
Yeah, it
Bobby,
is.
our next item is Robert the doll.
That thing is so fucking freaky looking. Holy
it is.
shit.
It is.
Oh my god.
So Robert the doll has black eyes. He has a pockmarked face, and he wears a sailor's uniform. Robert the doll's owner's name was Robert Eugene. But he went by Gene. But he loved this doll.
Mhm.
This is a grown man his entire
Yeah.
life. So people think that he took his own Navy uniform and made it for Robert the doll.
Yeah, there was some. Sorry, I'm gonna go off.
No, go
did
ahead,
some
yeah.
I've watched some stuff about Robert the doll.
Yeah.
Like the doll, would move around and shit. Yeah, terrifying.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh
Becky,
yeah,
see?
Terrifying.
that doll.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that shit's creepy as
Yeah.
hell.
I
And
like
Bobby, who was inspired by Robert the doll.
Chucky. But yeah, no, the doll,
I kind
even-
of like this
yeah.
doll now.
Yeah.
Even as the kid was growing up, as Eugene was growing up, the doll would move around and do fucked
Yeah.
up things, and the kid would be like, and the kid would get in trouble for it. Like, no, it was Robert. And then their mom eventually got creeped out by it and locked it in the attic. And people swore as they walked by the house, they would see Robert glaring at them in the window.
Yeah, I remember hearing stories about that.
Yeah,
Isn't
And
Go
you
ahead.
talk shit to Robert in the museum, or don't ask to take permission to take his picture, that shit happens to you.
him and Annabelle should have gotten together? And
They should. That's what, next crossover: Robert the
Mhm.
doll versus Annabelle, and it depends. And then at the end, they just fall in love and fuck and have
That's
cute little
Bride
baby.
of Chucky right there.
Yep.
Exactly. I'm like, so they're gonna make a comedy out of it?
That's actually probably what inspired Bride of Chucky.
Probably.
You're not wrong.
Probably.
But Robert the doll. So when Jean died, Robert the doll was left with the house up in the attic. So the new owner, when she bought it, she eventually found Robert up there, and she was like, "Oh, what an interesting piece of history."
Mm-hmm.
But then he started in on her, started moving stuff, creeping on her, just being real pervy. So she ended up donating him to a museum where he does stuff like Bobby said.
Bobby, how does it feel to be named after a doll that creeps on people?
I mean, it's a pretty apt description of me, so I mean, I'm not too offended by it.
Oh my
It is pretty apt.
god.
Love all of you.
Did you just hear? Yeah, that Bobby's creepy as fuck.
No, I'm adorable. Shut the fuck up.
You were adorable for about 15 minutes, and then Scoob corrupted you.
I mean, yeah, that's what
Oh,
happens.
he's still adorable. He's still adorable. Okay, so we did mention her. We had to talk about Annabelle because she is a very cursed doll.
It's a
Mhm.
fucking Raggedy Ann doll. Those things are creepy on its own.
I don't know if I feel like I like the doll they used for Annabelle in the movie, but damn if they had actually used the Raggedy Ann because Raggedy Ann is creepy in and of itself.
Oh yeah, the big weird eyes.
Yeah.
You know what's great? In my basement, my mom has a bunch of dolls down there, and one of them has to be a Raggedy Ann doll. So guess who never watches The Conjuring in the fucking basement?
Not
Me.
you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't play them games.
So Annabelle was a gift from a lady named Nancy. No, Donna. Her mom gave it to her as a gift. She was a nursing student, went off to go to school, never been away from home. So her mom sent her this as a love you, haha gift.
Right.
So what happened was suddenly the doll they'd find it in weird places. They found a note that actually said "help me," in nobody's handwriting, no, help us. So implying something. And then her roommate's fiance said he was attacked twice by Annabelle, by the doll. So at this point, the doll's name wasn't Annabelle. Let's just keep that in mind.
Now the question is, how does a Raggedy Ann doll attack somebody? Does it?
Well, that was the thing.
Yeah.
He walked into a room and they kept hearing noises from a room. So he stood up and walked into the room to see what the noise was. It was pitch black, just Annabelle in there, and Annabelle was kneeling. If you know anything about a Raggedy Ann doll,
Those bitches can't kneel.
they can't kneel. But they would come home multiple times and she'd be kneeling or sitting with her arm extended.
Can't do that.
Yeah. So after, anyways, she attacked him. And he had huge claw marks down his chest. This is documented. You can see the pictures. She beat the shit out of him. He never came back to the house.
Fuck no.
Would you?
No.
Exactly.
I don't blame him. I would be like, you know what? We're going to have to talk about this creepy ass doll that just attacked
Kind
me.
of like Aaron's wife who left him.
I'm
Sometimes
suing
things
you, by
go
the
so
way.
far. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna sue
Yeah.
the owner of the
Yeah,
doll.
but that would be the worst lawsuit ever. Why are you suing her? I'm suing her for aggravated battery. Her doll attacked me.
Oh, she's battery operated? No.
No. She attacked me.
Oh, I just amused myself so much with that one. Sorry.
You're good.
So right after the attack, and then they found the note that said "Help us." Donna came home one day, and Annabelle had spots of blood on her hand and her dress. and they're like, how did she get blood on her? First of all, she's moved because she always left her on the bed in the same position, and she was moved and had blood on her. So they called in a psychic who then told the story of how Annabelle Higgins was a young girl who was killed in that field, and that was her spirit. So the roommate and Donna, I keep saying Nancy, the roommate and Donna both said, oh, okay, Annabelle, you're more than welcome to come live in this doll. Whatever entity you are, come live in this doll. Well, shit got worse.
Obviously.
Because
People are
it
dumb.
wasn't the ghost of a little girl. It
Nope.
never is. A little girl wouldn't have done that.
Yeah, why? That's what kills me is they always say like the child spirits always end up being fucking demons.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly what happened. So they ended up calling out Ed and Lorraine Warren. And Lorraine said, when you invited this entity into this doll, it wasn't the ghost of a young girl. And she said, we can't remove this. We can't exorcise whatever's in here. It's too powerful. So she's like, well, then take the doll with you. So they took Annabelle to their museum. Annabelle, and this was before they put her behind the locked glass case you're
Yeah.
familiar with. She would levitate. She would fly off of the pedestal and attack people. This is a Raggedy Ann doll. They're just cloth. But people would walk away bruised and scratched.
Can you imagine how hard that Raggedy Ann doll had to hit to like
Well,
hurt you?
it was. I'm pretty sure the demon or whatever was
Mhm.
supposed to. It was just like fly the doll, scratch.
Yeah,
Mhm.
like the doll was the distraction.
Also, Patrick Wilson is Ed Warren.
Yeah.
He's pretty. He's a cutie.
Okay, so
I don't know whether I'm more scared of the doll or Bobby.
Homophobe.
so Lorraine
Not because of that, just because Bobby.
Warren said, this doll is so cursed. So they put her behind glass, a thick glass, but she still has an effect on the world because she still gets back at you. There was this guy who came in and taunted her and was like, oh, what are you going to do? Well, he gets 2 miles down the road and suddenly his motorcycle goes flying off the road into a tree. So, yeah, I'm not going to mess with Annabelle.
Why
Yeah,
do
no.
people taunt these dolls?
Because people are dumb.
That's stupid as hell. I would never go up to. I'd be like, "Hello, Annabelle. Nice to meet you. You can stay there. I'll stay over here. I'm heading out. You don't know where I live."
Even my thing is like, even if you don't believe, why tempt fate?
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, speaking about things owned by people that ended up being cursed, are y'all familiar with the little bastard?
Yeah. What's his face? Scar.
Yeah.
James Dean.
Yeah.
No. Oh.
James
okay.
Dean. So it was a 550 Spider. It was owned by James Dean, and this car was fascinating right from the start. When James Dean got it, and I don't know any history before that. I don't know if he built the car from ground up.
I think they built the car from ground up.
Yeah, and so the car jumped the tracks and broke the mechanic's leg. No reason for it to jump off the track when they were loading it. Went right on the mechanic and broke his leg. And then his actor friend at the time, and I can't remember his name, said, if you drive this car, you're going to be dead in a week. 7 days later, James Dean was in a wreck that killed him.
Oh wow.
But there's more.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
There's a
jeez.
lot more.
Oh, that car has a history.
Oh, it's
Really?
Like no,
crazy.
like this is how much of a history the car has.
This has to be what Christine was.
Supernatural
Yeah.
did an episode about it.
Oh, they did.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's how much history this thing has.
So the engine and the drivetrain after the wreck, the same mechanic had picked up the wreck. He sold it to 2 race car drivers who, within that week, were in a wreck in the exact same race. One died and one was permanently disabled.
And that's the engine.
And those are pieces of the engine.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. So he sold 2 tires, and the person who bought them put them on their car, went driving down the road. Both tires exploded at the exact same time and wrecked. And the guy walked away, but both tires exploded at the exact same time.
Oh my god.
And then there were thieves who broke into the mechanic shop to steal some tools, and then they saw the wreck of the car, the body and stuff. They walked over there to steal pieces of the body, and they were both horrifically injured. Like, one guy lost his arm, the other guy's cut open, from sternum to groin, and
It was
just,
gruesome.
yeah.
Gruesome shit
Wow.
followed. Gruesome shit followed anything to do with that car.
That's kind of like I said last episode where we talked about the curse of the Black Pearl. Keep your items together, because when you start piecemealing these things out to people,
And you're just spreading the curse.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that. That car's real pretty to look at, but I would not go near it.
Like, talking about spreading it out, like the people who know they have a cursed object and put it on eBay.
Yeah.
Don't warn someone.
Why did they ever say why they thought it was cursed? Like what made it cursed?
No, I never heard
Also,
anything
they don't know
about
where it is. They don't know where the
No.
the main body is.
No
Yeah.
idea where it is now.
I have no idea where it is.
That is scary be like, what if you're, hey, my Toyota RAV4 made out of that car?
Yeah, like the premise of the Supernatural episode is somebody buys it from eBay and checks the VIN number and everything, and it's like supposed to be the correct VIN number. Turns out that it was something supernatural in the wax museum down the road, but
okay,
it was.
But they think it's a little bastard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also,
but the guy bought it off of eBay, and within like an hour of, no, it was probably sometime within the day that he got it in the garage, dealt with it, called his buddy about it. He ended up, I think he ended up pretty much beheaded.
Oh, good. Nice to know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think it also inspired Christine.
That's
Christine.
I was about to say
It
that
did.
has to be a Christine, like a
because
Christine
that car
thing.
was just evil. And the actor who was friends with James Dean, who told him, he said it wasn't the car went too fast. It was because the car didn't feel right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like it felt just evil.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, something was just wrong with it.
What-
And speaking, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say on that note, I don't know if I would ever be one of those people who go on eBay, see a cursed item, and like, you know what, it sounds fun. I'm gonna buy that today.
Like the Dybbuk box we were
Yeah,
talking
the Dybbuk
about.
box. Yeah, like, no,
hard
who-
pass.
like, or the cursed tuxedo or the cursed suit in
Oh,
a heart shaped box.
Yeah. And there's this painting, and I can't think of the name of it. Something about why is his hands or something like that. And it's a painting of a little boy and a doll standing beside him. And apparently this is the most cursed painting. And people sell it on eBay. They keep trying to get rid of it, but everyone who buys it dies, and somebody will sell it to just keep trying to get rid of it because it's so cursed. And the artist said, "I'm not really sure what inspired me to paint it,
Probably
but I
a
don't want
demon.
it. I don't want it back."
Yeah, right.
And then speaking of things that are just deadly to own, there's a phone number in Bulgaria
What?
that they've actually put as a do not sign because every person who's owned this number has died horrifically. It's 0888-888-8888. And
Cool.
everyone who's owned it has died horribly. Not just died, but died horribly.
Oh wow.
So what do you know what's happened to, like, how many people have died because of it?
It was, I think they said it was at least 8 at the last count before they finally just said, you know what?
At least 8 on the
Yeah.
8888888 number.
Spoopy.
Like, why? What kind of demons? Like, you know what sounds good today? I'm gonna hunt a phone number.
Or what is in the number? So if you, I'll see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 8s is 80, and 8 plus 0 is 8. But 8, according to the Chinese tarot, is the sign of like debauchery.
Yeah.
It's you're smoking, drinking, you're too far oversexed. You're
Bobby perked up when you said all of that.
I was
Yeah.
born in the 8th month of the year.
See, that's what I'm saying. 8 in the Chinese tarot is related to that.
Yeah.
So maybe that has something to do with it.
Maybe.
Possibly.
Well, and speaking about Chinese things, are you guys familiar with the Terracotta Army?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was in that Mummy movie.
Oh, and it's a haunted location we could visit.
Yeah. I'm not going to fucking
I'm not
China.
going over there to look at the Terracotta Army. Are you
You don't
crazy?
want to go to Xinhua?
I would go there, but not to go look at that because people get cursed when they go there.
Mm.
You want to explain to the audience who might not know?
Okay, the Terracotta Army, they were a group of farmers, and they were going out gardening and found a tiny head. So the one guy was like, you know what? I need cigarettes. I'm going to break off a piece and go sell it because it was like a really fine terracotta.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it got around town. Hey, they found some shit in their thing. Of course, government moves in, and it is China.
Mm-hmm.
You're evicted with
It-
no monetary compensation.
Yeah.
You're-
Eminent domain does not exist in China.
You're out. This
Mhm.
is my stuff now. Let's go.
Yeah. So they dug up this whole terracotta army, which was thousands of soldiers that were guarding the first emperor's grave.
Mm-hmm.
So all the original farmers who found it and had first dug them up died, suffered really, really bad financially. Their reputation died in their community. And now the remaining people who were alive sit there and just sign books for like a penny a day at the museum because it's the only work they can get.
Oh, wow.
It's crazy. But I would love to see that.
Isn't that similar? The Terracotta Army is kind of like it's kind of similar to what happened with King Tut's tomb. It was like created for somebody who was royalty, and it was supposed to guard
Mm-hmm.
the remains of that person and curse whoever came near it.
Yeah. What's
Mhm.
interesting about King Tut's tomb is people believe he was cursed in life as well. because when they opened King Tut's coffin, there was nothing there except another coffin. So I said, okay, we'll open up that coffin. Open up that coffin. And there was another coffin. And it was a gold coffin. Solid gold. And opened it up, and he was this tiny, shriveled. He was very disabled. And
he was a boy. He was a boy when he died, very young.
And he was also extremely incestly disabled.
Yeah, because of their bloodlines, similar to how England had their bloodlines of keeping it with the family.
Yeah, and I believe that traditions passed on to our friends in Alabama and West Virginia.
But the people who found and opened King Tut's tomb all suffered horrific deaths.
Yup.
They always have to be horrific. You can't just die.
No, yeah. Didn't they also say that like they took it, like, wasn't a bird taken into it and he immediately died, and they thought it might be the methane, the smell of like the carbon dioxide or monoxide or what's in there. I don't know exactly what they said about it, but I know that was like legend is nobody is allowed to go in there at any point in time. Also inspired by King Tut, a moo from League of Legends.
Also,
nobody wants to do OQ with a sad little mummy.
Brandon Fraser's the mummy.
Yeah, he really should have been. Tom Cruise can never take over that role.
Fuck that movie.
No, he can't. So, going forward into more cursed items that are of a higher caliber, the Hope Diamond.
Yep.
Is it really considered cursed?
Yes, extremely cursed. It was stolen from priests in India, and the priest cursed it.
Oh, you don't fuck with no priests.
You don't fuck with us Hindu priests.
No.
That's awesome.
So, Becky, this would be a good bit of interest for you about the Hope Diamond. So, there was a certain French queen who...
Oui.
Yeah.
Am I thinking of the one that just wanted to eat cake?
She wore the Hope Diamond.
And
within a short amount of time, French Revolution, and she was beheaded. Because think about it, there was really... What was their beef with her? Or cake.
Right. She was like 14 at the time that all of this was taking place anyways.
Yeah.
Oh, it makes that what's her Christian Dunst movie really weird then.
Yeah.
You mean Kirsten Dunst?
Sure. She doesn't really act anymore.
Been people who've worn the Hope Diamond, male and female, and they die. So yeah, people who've worn the Hope Diamond, from assistants to museum directors, it's cursed them, and they've died horrifically, to the point that the director of one of the museums in New York walked up to the top and dropped it. Of course, like any good cursed object, it comes back.
Well, you can't break a diamond like that, I don't think, could you?
Well, you didn't break that one.
Yeah.
I was about to say, no, you couldn't break a diamond like that.
Well, especially one that's cursed.
Also,
the only thing that can cut a diamond or do anything with a diamond is a harder diamond.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because diamond's the hardest substance on Earth.
Was the Hope Diamond stolen, or is it's still on display? Like, you can go and see it.
It's been stolen, and it killed this thief. So
Okay,
it came
that
back.
makes sense.
So you just can't.
It's like one of those things, again, where I know you hope nobody ever breaks it down and sells it off or anything, because God forbid you get a piece of a diamond in your engagement ring and you suddenly dead on your honeymoon.
Mm-hmm. Well,
if you even make it there.
There's another gem from India called the Purple Sapphire. It's from the Temple of Indra.
Oh.
And people stole it. Same thing. Series of unfortunate events.
Stop
what
stealing
happens
from Middle
if
Eastern
the
people.
two of them get together?
Ouch.
India's
Hope
an
Diamond
Asian.
And then they have a baby?
I'm just saying, it's Middle East. India is Middle Eastern. What are you talking
Asian.
about? Iranians are also Asian.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Bobby.
It's in Asia. Look it up.
Listen, he got all of those questions right in trivia. We got to give it to him.
Okay, Louisiana Purchase.
God bless Thomas Jefferson.
Exactly. So I mentioned in the last episode about the rock in Arizona where the Aboriginals lived.
Mm-hmm. You mean Australia?
What did I say?
Arizona. There's a rock in Arizona.
I'm cutting all of that and we're starting again.
Nope. We're keeping it. We got to keep it. It's fine.
So in Arizona,
also
known as Australia.
The USA is Australia.
Exactly. Because we're all down under.
I was about to say, we got fucked up time zones
Yeah,
now.
we're upside down.
Jesus.
Where's 11?
Hey, I was just about to make a Stranger Things joke too.
Reach to the punch.
Does our toilet water flow backwards?
A turlet.
Yes.
Okay.
One punch.
It's a turlet.
Anyways.
So at this rock where the Aboriginals live in Arizona, Australia. It's a real place. Look it up.
Arizona,
Not now.
Australia. Arizona,
Don't
Australia.
fact check that, Becky.
Becky, put your phone down.
Yeah.
Becky, put
fine, I'm not. I'll leave it.
But people will take pieces of the rock, even though, of course, like the Blarney Castle, they're told, don't do it. There's signs posted up, don't take this rock. Not only are you committing a crime in Arizona.
Australia.
I hate my life right now.
Look, anytime you're gonna say Australia, point to one of us, and we'll say
Okay.
Australia for you.
Be like, Arizona, what country?
Australia.
So they actually call this the apology stone because people who take little pieces of it always, well, you don't know if they always, but for the most part, it seems like they mail it back to Australia with an apology note. I really hope this fixes my bad luck. I apologize.
I mean, okay, I don't know about anybody else in this room. I would not fuck with it to begin with.
Right?
Like, if somebody said, hey, don't take this rock, you might get cursed, I'd be like, you know what?
I'm gonna take that rock. I'm not gonna take that
Yeah.
rock.
I only have one life to live.
What's the fucking benefit? I mean, at least with the Blarney Stone, you lick it and shit, you get good luck. But
Yeah.
like, this
Herpes.
is like,
Or
it's
herpes.
like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm gonna take this rock that literally does nothing for me. I can't even fucking sell it. Why?
If you even want to pretend that you got the rock from the apology, go get another rock. Get one in Arizona. That one's probably not cursed. Unless it's in Australia. Arizona, Australia.
No, Arizona has really
Meet
spiritual
Australia.
mesas.
Okay, then go to Stone Mountain and grab a rock.
Stone Mountain has a lot of history.
I know that,
It has
but
history, but it's
Yeah,
not as
it's
super.
it's not cursed history.
It could be. It is a burial mound of the Native Americans who lived here.
Go to Peachtree City, get one off the golf cart path.
I'm telling you, it's cursed too. Just don't touch rocks that don't belong to you.
Look,
Just don't touch the rocks.
Go out in your yard, dig up a few. Just take a shovel, dig a few. You'll find a rock eventually. Take that rock. That's your rock. That's your rock from the
Joke's
apology.
on you. This is Poltergeist. We're on top of an burial ground.
This episode's going to be named Don't Touch the Rocks.
Don't touch the rocks. Well, when I was a kid, I didn't know how lucky I was that we would walk out and remember the church burned down and stuff. But we, digging in the ground, I'd find arrowheads and all sorts of stuff. And like little smooth stones.
Right? It's like, oh, this is
Just
cool.
so lucky. And now I'm like, you can walk outside and find that for anything.
Right?
There is one other cursed object I'd really like to talk about because this one
I don't want to talk
never
about that
heard
one.
of.
I don't want to talk about that one. I don't like that one. Let's not talk about it.
Don't be
Okay,
racist.
we're doing it.
Damn it.
We're doing it.
I tried.
It's Mel Gibson's The Passion of the Christ.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, God.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor
Oh.
Jim Caviezel.
And honestly, I'd never heard about this before. So, Jim Caviezel, did I pronounce that correctly?
Yes, you did.
The actor, he's the one who played Jesus.
Yeah.
So he had some really horrific things happen to him. He caught pneumonia. He broke his shoulder. When they had the whipping scene, even though it was like the crow was supposed to be a prop, they whipped pieces of his flesh off his body.
Holy shit.
Yeah. It was
Literally,
like a
holy
chunk.
shit.
Yeah. But the weirdest thing is that he was hit in the head by a lightning strike.
Yep.
Oh.
Twice.
Jesus was not happy about whatever
And the director, like one of the assistant directors, was hit by lightning as well. A lightning out of a clear sky.
God. They were trying to depict
Don't talk
what
about
happened.
I do not want lightning to fly through this window. Don't risk it.
Well, his career is doing right. Jim Caviezel wasn't all 5 seasons of Person of Interest, but the show is
Which,
fantastic.
that is my favorite show. One
So
of my
good.
favorites of all time. I
You
even
just
like
it
the
'cause
ending of it.
You just like it because of Root.
Well, yeah, she's hot. And Shaw.
Yeah.
And then Root and Shaw.
They banged each other.
They did. It's hot.
No, they never got a chance.
Well, they did in that one dream sequence.
Yeah. Oh, that was hot too.
Yes.
But first, well, I don't want to spoil. Okay, I'll spoil it.
We go from God striking
I know.
striking
to talk
people
about lesbian sex.
with lightning bolts
God created lesbians.
to lesbians.
New episode named God Created Lesbians.
And don't touch the rocks.
God created
Oh,
lesbians.
get it? Because lesbians ain't touching no guys' rocks.
Yeah.
Don't
Get
touch the
your
rocks.
rocks off.
Don't touch the rocks because God created lesbians.
That's the title right there.
Somebody on the search engine optimization is gonna go fucking bananas if that's our title.
Oh.
It's like, huh?
But going along that line of cursed like movies, there's a bunch. It's like The Exorcist and
Poltergeist.
Amityville Horror, the remake. There's a bunch of shit that you don't fuck with, and you
Yeah.
fuck with it, and it happens. The possession with the big box one, bunch of shit's haunted. and fucked up when it comes to movies fucking with the unknown and such.
It is weird to think that these, like, just things that happen during these movies that you can't really chalk up to explanation.
The Wizard of Oz was apparently a haunted set, a cursed set.
Yeah,
from the dead dwarf or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Dwarfs are scary, man. Mm-hmm. They kick you right in the nuts and you wouldn't know it.
Or headbutt you in the nuts.
I hope not. I'll bite you there and I'll cry.
I wish I just had the willpower just to bite you in the nuts one day. Like, just lay and wait.
Why?
I don't know, to be mean. To prove that these things happen.
I'm glad that you've decided to take this upon yourself.
No, I just would like to be that level of mean.
Okay.
That level of petty and extra. You see what I'm saying?
And can afford a good defense attorney.
Tasha, if you ever bite my nuts,
you need to contact me immediately.
A, you need to contact Angie afterwards and tell her that you are that sadistic. B, after I
use the word sadistic so easily.
After I wake up from being passed out because you bit my nuts, I'm probably going to go home.
I would too, to be fair.
And you can come stay with me and see him anyway.
So, cursed objects.
Cursed objects. So that's all I had for cursed objects, because then I would like to talk about the things that curse you.
Witches?
Witches.
Like sandwiches?
Yes.
But you know what?
Like pizza is a sandwich.
I just want to point out to you, though.
That was one of our episodes.
I'm so mad.
There was a bad argument about it. We don't bring it up.
Hot dog's a sandwich. Pizza's not a sandwich.
Right, because hot dogs and 2 pieces of bread.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, I mean, it's a single piece of bread, but it's split into 2.
Yeah.
We're not going
Especially
back
if
to
it
this.
unfortunately breaks.
It is stuffed in the middle.
Now is a mustache a hat for your lip?
Yeah.
Yes.
Of course it is.
Is cereal soup?
Yes. Yes, it is.
It's cold soup, yeah.
Yeah.
Can I just mention, though, on a side note, the fact that we've talked about all these cursed objects, but the people who've been cursing them are priests from India?
And priests curse a lot of shit that's happened here. Blarney Castle, priest.
I mean, like, seriously.
The nun from The Conjuring, priests and nuns.
Like, I mean, honestly, who better to curse something? A voodoo witch doctor, a priest,
right,
and witches.
Because, okay, if you call on the devil and demons to curse something, they've got to try and get past God and angels, right?
Right.
Like, if you believe in one, you got to believe in the other. Sure. But if you go to God and be like, hey, I'd really like this cursed because X, Y, Z, and he's like, hey, you know what, Satan? Here, do it.
They're in cahoots.
Like, there's nothing standing in the way of that curse. That is a legit... You're going to get hit in the head with lightning twice and survive. Because it's going to get you again.
Oh, yeah.
Like that one park ranger that got hit like 8 times.
Yeah, see? Dear God.
Angie had to let that one simmer for a second.
It
She's
wasn't
like,
in a row. What? It was like over like a stretch of like 2 decades.
That is
still
insane.
Like one of them,
times.
Yeah, like one of them, like one of his ears fell off, and she's like, "No fucking shit, dude."
Jeez.
Yeah,
it's super fucked up.
So witches through history have been a very real thing.
Oh yeah, they still exist.
They're mentioned by Shakespeare. They're mentioned in the Bible.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of things mentioned in the Bible.
In mythology, the Fates are considered witches.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. The Fates are considered witches.
And they're usually in 3s.
That is correct.
Mm-hmm. Even in the Bible, they were in 3s. The witches
like they're in Charmed.
Yeah, that's...
Power of 3.
Charmed,
the Power of 3.
Hocus Pocus.
It's because it comes from the pagan idea of the maiden, the mother, and the crone. So you have 3...
all the stages of life.
All the stages of life in a matriarchal religion.
Maybe Harry Potter as well, because Ron, Hermione.
Oh, Harry. And Harry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The unholy trinity.
Well, to be fair, if you look at the Trinity, it's actually initially was a pagan symbol for the maiden, the mother, and the crone, but it got changed to the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost.
Yep.
Okay, Christianity, let's focus on this. You've got 3 people and a ghost on your side. Like, witches have people, maid, mother, crone.
Yep.
And you, your Father, Son, Holy Ghost? What's up
They're
with
like,
that?
had to level up the guy, like, the maid and mother crone.
We got it.
I just skipped old person and got the dead one.
Easter was...
I brought the spirit of the dead one back. What then?
Now?
Easter was totally taken for the pagans. I mean,
Yeah.
the bunny imagery.
Oh, don't get me started on...
That's true.
Christmas as well.
Yeah, don't start me, man. This will be one of my rant episodes.
Well, if we're going to talk about it at Christmas, we'll make it a holiday thing.
We'll make it a holiday
Or
thing.
even, I almost said Vel'Koz.
That's League of Legends.
Thanksgiving? How did I get Vel'Koz out of Thanksgiving?
I'm not sure. Because he burns us all to turkeys. I don't know. Roast us.
There we go. Got it. We got there. But yes, witches. And one of the most famous in our American history is the Salem witch trials.
Yeah.
Which some would argue that none of the women who were killed were actual witches.
None, even the Giles Corey wasn't even considered a witch. It really wasn't until they got to the end where they started killing
everybody.
I mean, they accused over 200 people. This Salem Village
You're
was
bound
not
to
very
get somebody.
Yeah, Salem Village was not very big.
I mean, they probably got one at least.
Right.
But
well, there was an outspoken lady who owned her own land and wouldn't give it over to a man. So she's a witch. Oh, now we've got her land, her wealth, and she's gone.
Or just a strong-headed woman.
Yeah. The crones.
Unfortunately, yeah.
The crones were all accused because, of course, they're crones.
They're old.
Anyone that wasn't white.
Yeah. I just never understood, and this is something going back to, like, historically arguing this, because I would like to talk about this one day because I studied it a lot, is the fact that people always attributed witches to the devil, but the idea of a witch has existed before even the idea of a devil has existed. Mm-hmm. So witches, present day witches could be considered the Druids or the Celts from long ago when I lost it. Monotheism and polytheism. Sorry, polytheism existed before monotheism even existed. So the idea of a witch or a healer or somebody, a working woman who could, heal using these remedies that were actually like considered spells. The fact that they vilified women to make them that.
And witches were just wise women.
Yeah.
They were wise because they knew how to do things. I know how to heal you. I know how to attune with nature and understand when the rains are coming because I know the signs to look for.
Yep.
And that's not to say they weren't on a more spiritual level.
Right.
But doing some stuff.
It's because they were different.
But here goes...
And sexual.
It's because men didn't want to give up that kind of power.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say, is that with a patriarchal monotheistic religion, you have to vilify the women because polytheism, on a historical note, has always been a matriarchal belief. So what's the best way to do it? These healer women, stick a creepy ass nose on them, put a mole on there, and say they work for the devil.
Yep.
Talking about how the patriarchy and monotheism is merged. What's the movie with Jennifer Lawrence where she's
Mother?
It is Mother?
Yeah.
Okay. Because remember there was Mama and then Mother.
No, it's Mother.
Yeah, Mama's the one with the two little girls.
Yeah, Mama was the one about the ghost.
Well, remember, she was Gaia. She was there before her husband, God, came. Yep. And, she was at peace. Everything was just pleasant. And then when he comes into his power, all these people start coming into the house. And the more, it seems like the more fanatical they are, the stronger he felt and self-righteous. And he just gradually took all of her power. She was just cooking for them, cleaning for them, providing housing. And she's like, what about me? This is my house. This is my time.
And they killed the baby.
Yeah.
And then she has the baby. They take the baby, which he allows. He actually takes the baby out to them.
Right.
And as they kill the baby, he's just standing there crying like, I didn't know they would do that. She's like, of course you knew they would.
Right. They'd already gone to this point.
They've tried to murder me. They're horrible, horrible people. If you haven't seen this movie, it is incredible.
Just remember it's all a metaphor for Gaia and God. So that way you understand it when you go.
So you'll recognize Cain and Abel when they come in.
I wasn't a fan. I thought it was very overly pretentious.
It was a little pretentious.
It was pretentious, but I think it also had a good representation of the problems we see day to day.
I was like Frosky. He's kind of a douchebag.
Yeah, I do feel like men as leaders have the ability, not the ability, but they are swayed a lot by if people stand behind you and say, hey, you're right. It just builds up your self-righteousness.
Men have large egos.
And that is probably the biggest problem with what happened with the Salem witch trials is you had men of power who were accusing a lot of these women.
They were wronged by whatever woman. They accused her of being a witch. Or they were caught sleeping with them.
I was going to say, one of the judges, it was his mistress.
Yeah, I only slept with you because you're a witch. You made me do it.
Right.
Exactly.
And you can even attribute this even closer to our time with McCarthyism, with the witch hunt, with the with actors in Hollywood working for Russia.
And they still call it a witch hunt. It's a witch hunt.
It is a witch hunt. Mm-hmm. So witches, in my opinion, it's cartoonized or cartoonish at this point. And we all have that representation in Halloween of what it is. But the historical significance of how we came to get there is so sad.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, truthfully,
but wasn't Salem considered cursed after what happened with the Salem witch trials?
Absolutely. Can you imagine if you believe in haunted locations that hold the spirit of what happened there, it may be not haunted in that currently can reach out and touch you, but it just relives the awful, awful, horrible things that happened. That has to be one of the most cursed places.
Yeah, because there was, at no point did they ever attribute actual witchcraft. I think they even recently came out, it was probably longer than 10 years ago, but that it was rye poisoning, that the rye had caused hallucinations that initially started it. Yeah. And then when the kids were like, oh shit, I made all that shit up, we'll just start calling out these random people so they can't call us out.
Yep. People are the worst. That's why I like animals.
Me too.
We don't like you, Bobby.
Yeah, no, I like y'all. And blue.
Okay, well, this is taking a depressing turn.
I was more going to the fact that I'm an animal, but okay.
No. It's like animals.
Well, talking about animals, I mean, they also attribute black cats for witches being cursed. That's why during Halloween they try to, get black cats adopted as fast as possible.
Let's look at the history of cats, though, to understand why people have developed the idea that cats are witches' familiars. Because even back as far to the ancient Sumerians, cats were revered. They were honored for their intelligence, their wit, and the fact that they're otherworldly.
Right.
But in all honesty, cats are just lazy dicks.
But they also have a parasite that makes us love them. Sometimes I wonder, do I really love my cats, or am I a symbiote?
And then they sit in your lap, and you're like, yeah.
Like, no, I love. As I cry because I'm so allergic and I can't breathe and I'm dying, I love her so much. I just can't. And I'm strumming her like a guitar too.
Apparently, I saw that.
And
I was like, she's in your lap, but you're strumming her like a guitar up here. I'm like,
maybe that's why she bites me. I don't know.
Probably.
That's a strong
possibility.
We'll have to try it after this. Struggle snuggle with some guitar stroking.
I don't think Baloo's up for that.
She never is. That's why I get bitten.
Mittens.
But because they're so smart and they choose people to be with, and you know how cats are. They always choose like, oh, you hate me. Here I am. I love you.
Exactly. You're allergic to me? I'm going to sit on your face.
But they do tend to take a precedence because the people most likely to feed a stray and have them come around are your little old single ladies.
Yeah.
Or little old, lesbian ladies.
or nutbags.
Or nutbags. Or Bobby.
I don't know which one you fall in, Angie.
I can't do cats.
You don't like cats?
No, I don't mind cats. It's just that I'm allergic. My mom and sister are like super allergic.
Yeah, my mom's allergic to cats too.
Cats are fine though.
I mean, we had a cat.
Girl sitting here.
Yeah, look at her.
Yeah, we had cats for the longest time, but my mom was allergic. Now she's just like no animals, period. And I don't blame her. So,
yeah.
Granted, I would love a dog or something. Yeah.
But
good
it's
old
like,
Wubber.
honestly, it's like having not as expensive as having a child, but if you don't have the money and you're not in a position to support them,
right?
Because being that person that used to be, any money I got went to feed the animals, then I'm living off of ramen. Like, you're familiar.
Yeah.
But you have to be able to provide for them.
Yeah.
Vet visits are like, oh, $1,000 for what? Hold up. I need to go sell a kidney.
my cat needs what? Oh, my cat needs a kidney? Let me go sell mine. Hold on.
Can you take half a liver? Am I compatible?
Am I compatible with my cat? No, ma'am.
I'll be a medical experiment.
No, ma'am. Your kidney's like 30 times as big as the cat's kidney. So.
But going back to cats too, black cats in Ireland are considered good luck.
Yeah.
It's just if it crosses your path and then crosses back.
It's like takes the good luck to the bad luck.
Yes. Yeah. So I mean, lots of things over time, the meanings get lost. It's like if you study the Annabelle. When I was reading about Annabelle for the cursed objects, some people would only tell half the story. It went from Annabelle to Annabelle Higgins in the field. They invited her in, and then she went. But that's not the full story. Mm-hmm. Or it just jumps straight to, it was a demon that attacked the man, and blah, blah, blah. And you miss the
lead
steps.
up to it.
Yeah. The fact that the doll was fine until, it probably did encounter a little ghost girl You don't know. And then...
Well, a lot of the times, you'll have spirits that are decent, nicer than...
They're just there.
Yeah. But then, normally, they attract other spirits. Bad spirits.
I don't know. Going back to the whole, like, the idea of a witch is, even now, with practicing witches, the idea is that you do no harm to others. That everything comes back, once again, in threefolds. So if you do something that's good, you don't want to do anything that could either be good or bad. You want to do something that's considered neutral. So if your intent is to do something good, it might necessarily backfire on you. If you do something bad, you're definitely going to have it backfire on you.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the idea that witches were only there to curse people, to, like, sway you to the devil, even looking at the history of these healer women, there's never been any sort of historical documentation that says that, they were there to learn to curse people and blah, blah, blah. To be fair, they probably do know, like, here's a root that if you give it to this person, they're going to suffer a miscarriage, or you're going to make them deathly ill, but that's anything.
And if you go put salt on a farmer's field, nothing's going to grow.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, then there's tons of stuff. If you take a certain bug and put it in, a field where the cows eat, you're probably going to kill those cows.
But it's not witchcraft. It's just using the natural means to do mean things.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
No, I believe in supernatural witches. I believe in just wise women. I believe in Bobby's haunted pompadour.
Oh, that's
shit! It moved again.
Yeah,
it really has.
And Bobby,
like it was sticking up over here, and now it's got an indent right there. I'm like,
yeah.
You're
it's
angering him. He's coming for you tonight.
That's fine.
That's what she's saying.
Oh, Jesus.
Bobby, what do you think about witches?
Witches are fine. I mean, they're reasonable people, right? I mean,
do you think they're more like hocus pocus?
No, like I don't really have an opinion because I haven't done enough research. It's not really my thing. But as long as I feel like, as long as you aren't an asshole to them, they shouldn't really fuck with you, right? That's how anything is, right?
I prefer Hocus Pocus, the witches in Hocus Pocus over the witches in Supernatural, because the witches in Supernatural, most of their stuff is bloody and nasty, and
I'm more of a charmed witch person. Melissa Milano, Rose McGowan. 90s were a good time. Now they're both dead.
They came back with a new Charmed.
Yeah, it looks terrible. I saw the trailer.
Yeah, they really made it a little kitty.
They don't even look like sisters.
No.
Oh yeah, it was Sabrina. The new Sabrina show.
The new Sabrina. That's what we wanted to talk about.
Now, but there are kinds of witches that do kind of fucked up shit. Brujas.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The Brujas.
The Brujas. Gypsy witches are scary.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think like their intent is to exist to do harm. Like that's what they were made to do. Mm-hmm. And I think they're undead. Are they not considered like
the Brujas are also what become goat men? Yeah.
Skinwalkers too.
Yeah. They're Brujas.
Remind me to stay away from anybody that says they're gypsy.
Mm-hmm.
That's racist.
And there's always the stigma
don't care at this point.
Santeria and voodoo being also.
Who's the lady that lives in the house with the legs? The chicken legs.
Baba Yaga.
She's a witch.
Yeah.
Baba Yaga, oh my god.
Now, aren't she's actually reasonable just as long as you aren't an asshole?
Yeah, the story is that if you're inquiring to do something seeking a pure reason, she is somebody who will lead you the right way. Mm-hmm. But if you're only there to do bad, she's like, I'm gonna fuck you up.
Well, in Lost Girl, when Baba Yaga came for Kinsey, and Kinsey got stuck, and of course Bo had to go rescue her, Bo was able pretty much to cross in and out, not because she was a succubus, but because she had a pure intention of rescuing Kinsey.
Right.
But Kinsey was at a really fucked up time in her life. So she asked Baba Yaga for something, and Baba Yaga came to collect Kinsey.
Yeah, but don't forget, Baba Yaga is it's a Russian witch. You can look
Baba
that.
Yaga.
Yeah. She has an interesting...
What movie is it where every time something happens, he's like, Baba Yaga?
Oh, I don't remember.
I learned what Baba Yaga was from Arthur.
It's a funny movie, though.
Oh, yeah!
Yeah, Sue Ellen was like, her parents were like Russian.
But the weird part, you don't ever want to fuck with Baba Yaga.
Nope.
The guy ran a private detection agency.
Harry Dresden?
What? No. And he's hired to help somebody, and he's got 2 people who helps him, but he's kind of broke.
No clue.
Is it a movie?
Yeah, it was so funny, too. And then, like, the guys come in to get him, and the 2 guys who work for him are there, and of course they have no idea the shit he's involved in. And the guy's like, "Oh, Mama Yaga, come in." And then he kind of, you know what, it's not important.
Is it Ant-Man?
Yes.
I think that was from Ant-Man.
It was Ant-Man and
it was Ant-Man.
Wasp.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was Ant-Man and the Wasp.
It was funny.
Okay, I haven't seen that.
It wasn't a private detective agency. He was a security guy. He worked for
security guy.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Ant-Man
But
and
they
the Wasp
did private detecting too.
Yeah, kind
But
of.
they sold security things.
I haven't seen Ant-Man and the Wasp
Oh,
yet.
it's good. It's funny. It's a really funny movie.
It takes place right before
Thanos.
the snap. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the end of it is
Yeah.
the snap.
Spoilers! God, it only came a couple months ago.
Back in May.
Months ago.
It is already out on DVD. If you haven't seen it yet, it's your own damn fault.
Have you not seen it, Bobby?
No, I know what happens. Internet spoilers.
Bobby's just being a butt.
Oh, I avoided the internet until I actually saw it. So
It's fine. It's fine. It was funny.
because I saw it and Deadpool the same day.
Nice.
It was a good day.
That's a good day.
I'll be honest, y'all, though. If somebody says to me, "I'm a witch and I'll curse you," I'm going to believe them.
Oh yeah.
Like, a lot of people, like, nah, whatever.
Witch,
Now,
you're a witch.
how would you combat a witch's curse? Like, how does that work?
I mean, just look at Good Luck Chuck.
Yeah, no.
That's not real. So
It doesn't matter, Bobby.
If you combat
It
a curse,
happened.
you get somebody else to.
More you were so
Cleanse you
adamant
of
your
the
hair
curse.
was flying, like your tits were flopping, like
I know,
you
right?
were like,
I need a haircut.
Yeah.
God, do I need a haircut?
To answer Bobby's question, you would find somebody who can cleanse you of the curse, and or ask them to, or find a way to revert the curse.
And I don't believe that good magic is always more powerful than bad.
No,
I don't
No.
believe it for a second.
not always.
I think sometimes, if circumstances are right and
Depending-
you aren't particularly nice,
It depends on the witch.
Well, and also on top of it, that's why the existence of chaos magic is so prevalent. Because what chaos magic essentially does is it's either good or bad, but generally it's going to lean to the bad side, and it's going to be a lot more powerful.
Mm-hmm.
honestly, who determines good and bad?
Probably the person who's getting cursed.
The wielder.
Yeah.
The wielder. Who's
Yeah,
ever using
I
it?
might have my reasons.
Oh,
And
yeah.
they
I
might
mean,
be good. You may have, like a year ago,
I mean,
raped a girl behind a dumpster and then gotten off after 6 months in jail. But now you might be a good person.
Oh, look, it's Brock Turner.
But I still think you're bad. You
Oh,
still
yeah.
deserve to pay for that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like Hitler thought he was a good person.
Oh, Hitler, yeah.
Everybody's
and-
the hero
and-
of their
and-
own story.
Exactly. In everybody else's view, Hitler was a terrible person.
Mhm.
Not
mean,
the Nazis.
But Hitler genuinely believed that he was helping the world by cleansing
Yeah.
it of Jews. Like,
He
he
also had
legitimately believed
syphilis,
it.
so I wouldn't take that into much account. It was
Well, that's why they thought maybe he like a lot of this was like mental illness was because he
Yeah.
had syphilis.
He went a little insane, and his, do-good became...
Not so do good.
I hate the Jews.
Exactly.
Well, and he also dabbled in the occult. Not dabbled. He was heavily involved in the
yeah.
occult.
Oh yeah. No, like that. Those are some of my favorite games or movies. When you've got World War II time period, and you go through and you have
So like Wolfenstein.
you got a lot of the occult. You got you're facing dragons or werewolves and all this stuff, but it's World War II time still.
Yeah.
And it's just I love those games.
You've read the Hellboy stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Yeah, no, I love Hellboy.
Yeah.
Like one of my favorite video games is one that a lot of people don't like because it's real-time strategies. Operation Darkness. It's during World War II, and there's vampires and werewolves. Mainly, if you're a vampire, you're a bad guy, and if you're a werewolf, you're a good guy. But
Which makes no sense.
really,
Because when you're a werewolf, you have no control over your animal instincts.
well, the way they explain it in this is they do, and I mean you're fighting zombies.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the zombies can use guns and stuff and tanks, and yes, they can use tanks.
With their tanks and their bombs.
Zombie.
But
Jesus Christ.
But you're going through.
Hey.
The main character gets shot, and then he gets a blood transfusion from somebody in this special task force, which gives him powers. So you and your best friend get taken into the task force. Nothing happens with your friend, but your friend happened to be there. Your friend happened to be there, and was brought along for the ride because of everything that was going on.
Yeah.
Eventually, your friend gets turned to the bad side. He gets bit by a vampire, and
The dark side.
yeah, he gets turned evil. Stupid Jude.
We could have done an entire episode on the lore and the lore of these. Sorry.
Really? Last episode we had a conversation about this.
Right?
I mean, 2 episodes ago.
Turn your goddamn phone off.
My phone is off. I was going to say we could do an entire episode on the lore of all the monsters. Like vampires, werewolves, the creation of them skinwalkers.
Oh, Bobby could do skinwalkers.
Those things are terrifying, but sure.
Yeah.
I believe your hair is a skinwalker.
No, my hair protects you from them.
It's a talisman against curses.
I hope.
Oh, if we all had a personal talisman, what would it be? Would yours be your hair, Bobby?
Probably.
More than what would yours be?
Anything resembling a dragon.
Okay.
Like my Dragon Castle necklace.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I was going to say it'd probably be like a little moon or something, like a crescent moon or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or with an amethyst.
Okay.
That's my jam, yo.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Maybe a peridot.
Peridot.
With like a lock of my hair inside of it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the true talisman for Bobby.
Uh-huh. God, if somebody gets a hold of it, like, we've got his hair, curses.
Or they clone him.
And
I
then
don't
we
know
have to
what
figure-
would be worse, curse Bobby or cloned Bobby.
But how would
Or
we figure out who's the real Bobby?
Cloned curse Bobby.
Yeah, clone curse probably.
This is like the worst B movie ever we've just created.
I'd watch it.
This is the darkest time one.
I'd watch it though.
Yeah, I'd totally watch that.
Oh, okay, well, we would
How
be
do you know
living
who's
it.
who? Like the pompadour goes one of each way.
It's
Like-
kind of like Detroit Become Human, where you're trying to find, like, suss out which one is the bad robot and which one's the good robot, so you can kill the bad robot to save your sidekick. Sorry, spoilers. Okay.
Or like any movie ever where there's a clone and they just start fighting and they
I was trying
they
to keep
spin
it
around
relevant
like
to
6
the time
times. You're
now,
like, which one's
Moreland.
which?
And like, why do they always have to be against each other?
Right?
I would-
Always. I mean,
Ooh, or the Jet Li. Is
'cause
it Jet
one-
Li who
'cause
has
one's
to
evil.
kill himself to
one.
get?
The
yeah.
one, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was a good one.
yeah, I
Weren't
like
so
that.
much clones, but
He was jumping through universes.
yeah.
How
that
did
was
we
great.
devolve this hard to clones from witches to from cursed objects?
Because of
Because
ADD.
witches are clones.
Makes sense. And we figured everything out.
And there is our definitively wrong statement for the podcast.
Witches are clones.
But we're going to stand by it.
Here at Scuffed Podcasting, we only do half of the research to make sure we're correct.
Wait, we
Hey.
do research?
I did, jackass. I wrote it down.
You don't
I did
count.
some search for Ree.
All right, then.
Bobby a little late
Bobby
to the
has like the
re-party.
next level Ree.
Yeah.
A little late to the re-party, but okay.
I'm almost a little late.
We've all like murdered with our Rees, and he comes in, and he does it that way because he's slitting all the blood.
Yeah.
What happened? Is there anything you would like to add about witches?
I could go on for a while about them,
Me too.
but I will say I'm good.
Land of the Moor. You good?
Hey,
Hey,
Becky.
Becky.
Where can they find us?
Spotify.
YouTube.
Weeby Geeks.
Why don't you guys do it?
Nah, I'm good,
Libsyn.
bro.
That's too much.
There's Facebook
I don't-
at something.
I only remember Weeby Geeks.
Twitter at something. See, we don't know what.
You can find us on Facebook at The Free Rotation Podcast. You can also find us on YouTube at The Free Rotation. We are also on Twitter at The Free Rotation, and we are also on Instagram at The Free Rotation Podcast. We stream every week at The Free Rotation. Please subscribe to us. Did you know that with Amazon Prime, you get 1 free Twitch Prime subscription a month? Why not use it on the small guys who are trying to make some money so we can, keep this podcast going in a beautiful and professional manner where we actually do so much research that our answers are always correct.
We're professional.
Always.
Don't ever check us.
We
We're-
never call Australia Arizona.
No, we never talk about the Arizona and Australia.
And generally speaking.
And generally speaking, and
We're also at Weeby Geeks.
and
We're
actually, it's general speaking.
Yeah,
But-
generally speaking.
That sounds
No,
racist.
speakling.
Speakling.
Generally
and you
speaking.
can also find us on Weeby Geeks. We are affiliates of that podcast network. Check us out there. And you can find all of our content at thefreerotation.com. Spotify.
Weeby Geeks.
Yeah.
You guys have pissed me.
Libsyn.
You guys have done it so many times now that people on our Twitch will actually go, "Hey, Becky."
And then just go
It's-
Spotify.
It's the best. It's the best thing ever.
Yeah.
What about Spotify?
Continue to do this every time she streams. She loves it.
She loves it so
Loves
much.
it so much.
All right.
All right, bye.
Bye, guys.
that doesn't.
I realize what the breathing is. I hear the dog snoring.
Oh.
I'm like, well,
I couldn't figure it out, and then I'm like,
I'm glad you figured that out.
Yes, because I'm like the demon somewhere